Hello, everyone. Listen, I am going to go over what you need to know for your second stimulus check, okay? Absolutely. How much you're going to get, okay? How much you'll expect to get, number one, and then when you're going to get it. So, I'm also going to be going over a third item, and that is the four proposals that are still being worked on within DC. So we want to definitely stay tuned for that. Before we get into that, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Let everyone know that these stimulus checks, these people are serious, okay? Congress is serious about it. How likely is it for all the four proposals to actually do what they're supposed to do? We'll see. Okay, the amounts are massive for some, and for some it's not so massive, okay? But look, for instance, how far is $1,200 going to take you? Go ahead and comment below. I mean, how far is it going to take you? Do you live in California? Do you live in Massachusetts, New York? Higher cost of living states. It's not going to take you very far. As a matter of fact, there are some folks that have the 74%, right? They're going to pay 74% of their expenses for that month, but it's only 74%. And 24% say this check is only going to last me less than 2 weeks. And so, while we are thankful for the stimulus checks, we definitely want as much money as they can shell out. Is that right? That is correct. So listen, I'm going to go over the four stimulus check proposals, and they are, okay, before I do that, 130 million in stimulus checks, right? 130 million payments have gone out, all right? So we do want to let you know that Congress is serious about getting the money to the American people, okay? And so we want to definitely let you know about the four right now. So number one is going to be the Emergency Money for the People Act. Okay, this would provide a $2,000 monthly stimulus check for up to 1 year, or as long as the current situation, and you know what I'm talking about, lasts. Another one is the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. Now remember, we actually showed you in another video, we went into that in detail, that would actually cancel the rent and mortgage payments for up to 1 year. Isn't that beautiful? Number three is the Getting America Back to Work Act. And so this would actually provide a stimulus for the employees that are on unemployment. Man, they want them back to work, right? So it would actually provide a payroll tax rebate for the businesses that covers 80% of payroll expenses, enabling businesses to more easily hire and retain employees. And so when you're looking at that, and you're looking at the states like California, states like New York, you're seeing that these higher cost of living states, if you're only getting the $2,000 a month, if you're only getting the $1,200 and that's it, then they're wondering, man, okay, well, it's good, right? Very thankful for what we get. But is it going to be able to be sustained? Is this sustainable? And that's the challenge, all right? So let's get into the Emergency Money for the People Act. This is going to be the $2,000 a month for the single taxpayers if you're making less than that $130,000 threshold. And for the married folks, it's going to be $4,000 a month if you're making less than the $260,000 in annual, right? So that's that. For the second one, Getting America Back to Work Act, it's going to be proposed. This is actually proposed by Senator Josh Hawley, and boy, it is definitely in favor of the businesses. So it's to actually help businesses retain their slaves. Oops, I mean workers. I got your attention there, huh? Listen, it's to help the businesses retain their workers so that they can continue to stay employed with the business. So what we want to do now is give you the third one, and that is the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. I have no idea what the probability is of this one getting passed, because it definitely sounds too good to be true. There are no provisions for the threshold for this act. So, I mean, you could be a billionaire and be like, okay, well, I don't want to pay my rent, or I don't want to pay my mortgage at all. All right, it's $20,000 a month, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. I don't have to pay it for such a time. There are no provisions yet for that act. Okay, and I know I told you there was going to be a fourth one. This fourth one I actually already went over, and that fourth one is going to be the ABC Act. How many know what that means? Absolutely. It's the Automatic Boost to Community Act. So what happens, right, is you'll get a card full of $2,000. And then each month, you'll have another $1,000 each month. For how long? For a year or until this situation passes, right? So we want to keep in mind that Congress can only do so much, right? And when it comes to parties, listen, I don't get into that, but I do want to share with you what Trump stated, okay? And here's what he wants. Here's his proposals, President Trump. He wants to suspend all payroll taxes. So no more payroll taxes. And number two, he actually wants bigger deductions. He wants those deductions expanded for the corporations for meals and entertainment. And so he's definitely business-minded, wants to definitely make it better for the businesses. Why? Because when it's better for the businesses, and I see the logic behind it, I see the reasoning behind it, when it's better for the businesses, then it's going to be better for the employees. It actually rolls downhill, doesn't it? So we wanted to keep you notified that the qualifying families under the Emergency Money for the People Act, you're still going to get that $500 a child, okay, for up to 3 children. So that's still on the books, okay? They still want to do that. Eligibility would be extended to the recently unemployed who wouldn't qualify under the 2018 or 2019 tax returns, but whose income situation has changed in 2020. All right, we want to definitely get further into the no rent or mortgage payments for up to 1 year. We want to clarify some things on that one. And the bill would include full rent payment or mortgage payment forgiveness for your primary residence. And you're thinking, well, wait, you know, the interest would still, or the payments would still back up. I'm still going to be responsible for that. Watch this. No debt accumulation for renters or homeowners. That's why I don't think it's going to pass, but we'll see. I don't know. And this isn't going to reflect on your credit history at all. Isn't that beautiful? You didn't pay, and there's no record that you didn't pay. Beautiful. So, I mean, that begs the question, how would landlords and mortgage lien holders get paid? Well, check this out. The bill would establish the Rental Property Relief Fund and the Homelanders Relief Fund, both managed by who? The government. You know what I'm talking about. Watch this. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. This fund would pay landlords and mortgage holders to cover losses associated with tenants and homeowners not paying their rent or mortgage payments. Oh. It's a dream come true, man. You're off the hook. You know what I mean? Because there's a relief fund for both the renters and the mortgage lien holders. Huh? Yes, landlords, mortgage lien holders, you got it. So landlords and lenders would be required to follow federal guidelines for fair lending and renting practices for 5 years in order to be eligible to receive funds through the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. Ooh wee. Man, follow those guidelines and you'll be eligible to receive it. The bill would also establish an optional fund to finance the purchase of private rental properties to increase affordable housing availability. So that is still intact. Now, for the payroll tax rebates to promote hiring and retention, this is what they've got to say about that. This is Senator Josh Hawley's, this is proposed by him, okay? The representative from Missouri. Shout out to Missouri. This would create a refundable payroll tax rebate that would cover up to 80% of employer payroll costs up to the median wage. It would also establish a rehiring bonus. Oh, you're also going to get a bonus, a rehiring bonus for employees who were laid off and were later rehired. Now, this is actually going to be very motivational for those that don't want to get off of the unemployment, right? Because they're getting paid more with unemployment than they were being employed. And this is a real scenario, folks. folks, they're everywhere. Now, the employment is having some trouble right now because there aren't some unemployment checks that are not getting disseminated to the people because of the system, because of what's going on, right? But they definitely hope to get that fixed. Folks, this is phenomenal. Okay, so let's go over it again, okay? Number one, we went over the Emergency Money for the People Act. Number two, we went over the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. Then number three, Getting America Back to Work Act. It's all about making sure that business is sustainable so that it can keep the employees paid. And then number four, the ABC Act, Automatic Boost to the Community. What does that mean? They're going to boost that prepaid, preloaded card with $2,000 and then $1,000 after that until this whole thing is over, or 1 year from when the program starts. Folks, I want you to comment below. Did you get your stimulus check yet? Do you think you're ever going to get your stimulus check yet? Which one of these acts, if not all of them, are going to actually be implemented? Let me know. I want to hear from you. All right? Like, share, subscribe. God bless you and have a great night. This is what's going on right now.